Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about the CrackleShot StrafeZon. So this build is a very cool build spriting in Season 12 because they added this new item called CrackleShot, and this item is so cool. It has a chance to cast both Lightning Fury and Lightning Bolt on striking, and you pair it up with Aether Wings or Ether Wings, which is a Pierce Lightning pair of arrows. So unique arrows, these were added in Season 12 as well. So whether you're seeing this in Season 12 or in the future, hopefully you're playing this build because it is really cool. Let's talk a little bit about how this build works. So with proc builds, the idea is you buff the synergies to the thing that you're procking. So we're procking Lightning Fury and Lightning Bolt, being this skill and this skill. So you want to buff their synergies, and we're kind of in luck because they're synergies for each other. So as you can see, Power Strike and Lightning Bolt are the synergies here, and Power Strike and Lightning Fury are the synergies here. So we're going to put all of our heart points into these. That is 63 points in total, 20 points here, here, and here, and 1 point in the prerequisites. And the idea is we'll be casting the level 28 and 25 and Lightning Fury and Lightning Bolt respectively with the synergies intact. As for the rest of our skill points, we'll have 1 point in Strafe because that will be the skill we'll be using to proc them. So Strafe shoots a bunch of arrows and they'll be procking our cool lightning abilities. And I put points in Valkyrie so I can summon 3 of them, which is important. And the rest I put into Pierce. So we have as much projectile pierce as we can, which is important for the lightning bolts especially. Alright, so that is kind of how I set up my build. This build is, I'm testing it like I'm level 97, but I didn't do all of my skill quests, so I actually have like skill points as if it's level 94. So just as kind of like a heads up, you don't need to be level 99 to play this build or anything. It's in terms of attributes, just like strength and dex to wear your gear, vitality for the rest. You want to be pretty healthy, a pretty healthy Amazon. As you can see, my resistances are very low. And let me remind everybody, disclaimer, this is tested during the beta, and so in the beta a lot of things are missing, especially things like resistances. Because we don't have slams, we're missing a lot of vital, extra damage, extra resistances, extra utility. So we just kind of have to make do what we can. So on live you could have a lot more resistances and more damage as well, but I wanted to showcase this as close as I can to what it would look like in the actual game. With that said, let's move on to the gear part. How do you gear this Amazon and how does it work? So of course you'll be using CrackleShot, which is the new bow. Generally speaking, you want to box this bow before you slam it, because the slam can only give it up to 4 sockets, which you can get with the puzzle box as well. So you'll be boxing this and then getting a slam, and the slams you're looking for are either attack speed or minus the enemy lightning resistance to do even more damage. That's in my opinion the best slams that you can get for it. And for the arrows, similarly, you'll box them first and then you'll slam them. Getting 2 sockets is the maximum, which you can do with a box, and then you'll get either minus lightning enemy resistance, all resistances, or other useful utility slams. So that's kind of like what you're looking at with the arrows. In terms of the rest of the gear, the key pieces in my opinion are Griffins and Enigma. Griffins gives you a lot of lightning skill damage. It's an obvious choice for lightning builds. Gives you plus skills and faster cast rate, which will help you cast your teleports with Enigma. Personally, I don't like walking, and I generally use Enigma on a lot of builds. I think it's an amazing item. I know a lot of people don't use it. They think it's nerfed, so it's not good anymore. I think it's incredibly strong in its current form, and it gives so much. Gives it tons of strength that it translates into a lot of life. Gives it tons of defense, tons of magic find. Gives you the teleport, of course, and all skills, faster run walk. So many amazing and good things. So I'm a big fan of Enigma, and I'm using it on this build. In the beta, we ended up using Drax for life after each kill, which you can use on live as well. They'll be probably the best item to use there. We used Marowaks for CBF. You will probably end up using Tri-Res Boots to cover for your horrendous resistances. I just can get the CBF otherwise. So Tri-Res Boots here to make you a little bit less vulnerable. And skill rings with life after each kill slams, or mana after each kill slams, depending on what you want. That could save you a slot here with the Crackles, probably. We're using Razortail for the Pierce. Again, on live you'll probably be able to get a Pierce Slam to replace this and have a different belt here. Something like a Rax for faster cast rate, or a PDR belt for survivability. You could have a lot of things that you change this around for. but generally you don't necessarily need the Razor Tail. And we're using Mars again for the resistances during the beta. I think on live you'll probably use something else. There is an option to use a metal grid as well for a more expensive version of this build, but I'd rather stay away from using Iron Golem on Infinity. So with that said, this is the build. On the swap we have a Call to Arms and a Lidless, and the charms are all large charms for lightning damage. They can be with life, or they can be... I didn't bother like making them super OP or anything. I just got the random ones that I got. So you can have like FHR, life, or whatever you need on them. These are pretty cheap normally. Torch and Annie, and one small charm for resistances. Generally speaking, I suspect that this build will have anywhere between 30 and 50 res normally on live. You could probably have more and lose a little bit of damage, and it will have more damage than what it has currently, probably closer to 100 elemental pierce and a little bit more mastery. So that's kind of like what I'm expecting, or maybe not more mastery, but like a little bit more elemental pierce for sure. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. Let me know what your thoughts about the build. And of course, we're going to talk about the Mercenary. The Mercenary is an Infinity Mercenary. You could equip him with like an Innocence Ferocity for some extra safety if you'd like. I give him more survivability with like a Shaft Stop, String of Ears, Drax and Dariels for Life Leech and a little bit of attack speed. And he got Marowaks for CBF. So that's the setup that I chose to use. And he is an Infinity stick, but he stays around and he helps. The other option, of course, if you're running Metal Grid with an Iron Golem that has Infinity, is to give him Stormspire. That's like the most damage setup that I managed to test. It's extremely expensive, and if your Iron Golem dies, you have to make a new Infinity. But it's even more powerful than this setup. But we're going to stick to this setup because it's more realistic for most people to make this build. So that said, let's get to demonstrating this build to show what it can really do. And we're going to show a tier 3 map. The tier 1 maps don't stand a chance against this build, so we're going to hop into tier 3s just to show how powerful it really is. I had to make a cut there because we had a little bit of a mistake. I was on the wrong servers. There were a lot of crashes today, so... As you can see, the idea is that you'll be teleporting around with your 3 Valkyries, and you'll be casting your Strafe, and as you can see, if you get the good RNG, everything suddenly starts melting to your lightning. As you can see, we have no resistances, no defensive, and the Valks do keep us pretty safe when we're teleporting. I'm trying to play this as aggressively as possible to make sure I demonstrate this build. I would still like to have more resistances on it, of course, because as you can see, it can get a little dicey sometimes. But we'll do our best to showcase it as much as we can. And I will play the full map just to kind of showcase how it melts stuff. And I know some people don't really like running Enigma on characters like Amazon. Like, I understand that, but personally, I think this is the way to go. And I wouldn't really skip it. I will be ignoring events during testing and during demonstrations because I want to showcase like the average map, which normally I wouldn't have an event. I don't want to spend time killing the events. As you can see, aggressive teleporting, kill everything around you. And you want to teleport like in the middle, things like that. You don't really want to be playing from the side. I mean, if you're playing like, of course, if you're playing in HC or something, you will be playing a lot safer. But you want to be kind of in the middle of them because that's how you maximize your damage. And you can see in solo play, we're doing like 140k DPS. I don't know if it's like, if it could go even higher. I suspect that it could. Yeah, if we could afford to have a little bit more FCR and get one more breakpoint, it would be really nice. Watch this boss die real quick from our lightning bolts. As you can see, he stands no chance. Of course, I'm clearing about as much as I would clear in any map. I don't normally full clear everything to be more efficient with my time, but you can see that this pretty much wipes everything around it. Again, ignoring the goblin. It's mostly to keep stuff consistent between different classes. And outside of that one potion that we used in the beginning, I want to remind everyone that we didn't use a single one. Yeah, let's go super aggressive here. And if you have like good teleports like this, you'll see that your teleports become suddenly a lot more efficient. And that you never run out of charges on your Enigma. Make sure to heal your merc if you see him going like a little bit low. Don't like rely on his leech all the time. It is good to heal your merc if you can. You don't really want him to die. Like if he dies, you're gonna feel really bad. It's not gonna feel good. Now, something about this build that I think is important to kind of understand is that this build actually scales with how much density you have. So the more density you have, the better it's gonna feel. It's not gonna feel worse, it's gonna feel better. Because you'll have like more bounces, more pierce going on. As you can see, we're already at the end of the map. It's like 5 minutes, maybe 5.5 is like what it's gonna be. I've done already a 5-minute clear. I have not done any sub 5 clears, but I'm really happy with the general speed of the build. I do think that it has an unfortunate situation. Yeah, 5.5 minutes. So I do think it has an unfortunate kind of a situation with sometimes the proc on Lightning Fury is so low, so you get like bad RNG moments. So I would like to see the chance up by maybe 1 or 2% to make the build feel more consistent. But overall, it's an amazing build and it's very strong. If you add looting, I've done like a looting map in 6 minutes and I've done clears in 5 minutes, as you can see in Thrones, which is a tier 3 normal map for testing. I normally test on Thrones and Pandas to compare, because some of the maps that people like running. And yeah, I'm really happy with its current state. I've done about 18 maps so far on it off stream, and I've done I think 2 or 3 on stream. So I've had like a little bit of gameplay already racked up on this build. I think it's incredibly strong and it's worth a shot in season 12. I hope that people will give it attention. So with that said, if you have questions, make sure to drop them on this. If you like this build and you're going to play it, let me know. And I hope this guide is going to be useful to you guys in season 12 or the future seasons. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to support the channel, because it really does help me dish out a lot of these guides to you. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next stream or the next video, and bye.